What's the story behind your company's name? I'm a true believer that no matter what company you start, that the name that you name that corporation should have a story behind it. What's up, it's Gene. This is Ingenious Storyteller, and I'm here to help you to ingeniously craft principle-focused stories to have an impact in authorship, business, and speaking. And this is the second video of our video series, and I truly believe that we should all have a story behind our company name, and that's the principle that we'll be discussing today. So what do I mean by this? You see, when I first started my company, I didn't know what to name it. I first named it Eugene Mosley Communications, Eugene Mosley Enterprises. I had no idea what to call my corporation. So I spent so much time just trying to come up with a name. And the reason I had such a tough time is because I didn't have a story that will link to the name of my company and that will be something that will describe me as well as the things that I like to do. So when I first started, trying to build a business, what I originally started doing is helping new college graduates. I would help them write resumes, cover letters, do interviews so they could get their first job. And I was working with this particular individual, and he was doing something called music therapy. So I started helping him to craft his resume. We went from scratch, and I was showing him how to write words so he can communicate well. So when he has somebody that may be interested in him, they can look at that resume and say, wow, this individual has prepared himself. He's ready to come in for an interview. So we went through that process. We went through the resume. We went through the cover letter. We did mock interviews. And we really worked on getting prepared so when somebody reached out to him, he had a good opportunity of getting his first job. Well, that's exactly what happened. He eventually got an opportunity, came to him through an email. Somebody loved his resume, his cover letter. It looked very professional. So then he had an opportunity to do the interview. And what happened when he got in that interview, he was so prepared that he was able to get his first job right out of college. So he called me one night and he said, Gee, man, I got my job, man. I'm so grateful. Thank you so much. We were having a conversation. He said, man, I got to tell you, when it pertains to words, you are ingenious. And I said, what is that a word? What does that mean? Because I never heard this word before. He says, ingenious means that you're creative, you're innovative, ingenious. I say, how you spell it? He said, you spell it INGENIOUS. I say, bro, I've been trying to find the name of my corporation, so I'm going to call my company inGENEious, but I'm going to add an E, so inGENEious will have Gene in the middle of it, and that's going to be the name of my corporation. He said, that's what I'm talking about. You are ingenious. You're so good with words. You're so good with communications. So that's how I came up with inGENEious. And I have a communication corporation in which I help people to ingeniously communicate. You're able to communicate, whether it's through your resume, through speaking, through authorship, whatever it is. I like to focus on helping people communicate, but I love to use principle-focused stories. So whatever business that you come up with, you have to make sure that you have a story behind your business name. Because when you have a story that links to your business name, it not only make it easier for you to communicate what your business name is and why you came up with that name, but it should also be something that is built around what you do, that describe what you do, that make it very clear to people, because when you are able to do so, you won't find yourself in situations when somebody asks you, why did you name that business? You cannot tell them. And if you cannot tell them why you call the business's name, you also won't be able to tell them what the business does when it's in a very clear and concise manner. So always remember that no matter what business name that you come up with, you must have a story behind that name. So come up with your business name, but also have a story that links to it, or in other words, find a story that can help you get that business name so you'll be able to communicate your name with clarity, and you also can tell people what you do with clarity as well.